In this video, we will be building a Sumif function using structured references. In this case, we would like to create a formula that will count up or sum up the total sales dollars for each of our sales reps based on the sales that are in this table on another sheet. The first thing I need to do is just check and see, does the table have a name? And I can click on the table and go to Table Tools Design. And this table does have a name. Its name is Sales. If the name was even Table 1, we could just use the table name as long as we know what it is. We could also change the table name if we needed to, but in this case, Sales is just fine. So back to my workbook where I want to enter the Sumif formula. To add these up, what I want to do is say, sum up all of the sales, which is this actual sales column, sum up all of the sales if the rep is, and then it'll be either John Smith or Larry Jones. To do the first one, I want to sum up all of the sales if the rep is Larry Jones. Let's do the SUMIF function. So equal to SUMIF, and the first thing it wants to know is a range and a criteria. The range that it wants here is the range that it's going to use to compare to the criteria, and I know that because the last thing it wants is this sum range. In our case, we want to look up the sales rep name. So our range would be in the sales table, and it's equal to sales. And I can just start typing sales until I see the sales table and then hit tab. There, it brought it back. And now I want to use the left square bracket, and that will pull up a list of all the columns. So we want to look in the rep name column. So I double click the rep name out of that column list, and then I'll close my square bracket. So my range is the rep name column in the sales table, and I'm going to compare every row in that column to my criteria, which is the name in V4. And now another comma. And the last thing I need is the range to sum. So when we find a rep name that matches Larry Jones, then we want to sum up the total sales. So back to the sales table, and I'm going to use my left bracket again, and this time what I want is the actual sales price. So I can scroll down here till I find it, double click on it, and then close my bracket and close my parenthesis. And there is my SUMIF function where I'm looking for all of the actual sales where Larry Jones was the salesperson. Because I used my structured references, which is the table name and the column heading basically, and I used here V4 instead of typing Larry Jones, I used a cell reference. I can now copy that formula straight down, and it will automatically handle it for my second sales rep, which is John Smith.